In this video, we take the 80 Series Land Cruiser on its very first actual overland adventure. We're going to be driving it up into the mountains, over river crossings, through some snow, and we're going to be camping in it overnight for the first time to see how all the gear does. Made it to camp as soon as night fell, and it's pitch black behind me, so I'm standing underneath the tent lights to show you what our camp looks like. Corey's 100 series daisy chained to me with string lights. Then we got the car bar, aka the 80, ready to go. And one thing that I really wanted to do is I really wanted to make sure these Baja Designs lights worked as like a scene light for camp. So I wonder if this will show up on camera, but these are actually dimmable. And if I go super high, I'm going to blind the boys back there, so I don't want to blind them. So let's turn it down, go off, and then we go one click up. And the cool thing about this app is it tells me how many volts are left in the house battery and how many amps I'm using. I'm using 0.2 amps and I got 13.1 volts left. This is going to last all night. I don't know any like lower end Auxito or Auxbeam or whatever light controller that can do that. Yeah, that's perfect. My first time going to sleep in the iCamper Skycamp DLX without a diesel heater, heater buddy, or anything. I'm going to be wearing a thermal shirt and a fleece and a set of long johns and 4 down blankets with 2 mattresses. Now that sounds crazy, but it's really going to test out the R value of the cork floor of the Skycamp DLX. Hopefully, it's enough layers to keep me warm through the night. It should be around 28 to 31 degrees tonight. Corey and Zach are both camping in their cars with no heat source. So if they can do it, so can I. So we're going to figure this one out and see how it goes. Wish me luck, and I'll see you in the morning. We got to this incredible campsite last night, and I didn't do much filming because it was nighttime, it was getting cold, it was getting dark, and I really just wanted to set up camp and hang out with the boys. But that means today we were about to follow us on our way out of this camp spot. And this trail is pretty wild. It's got water crossings, it's got a little bit of crawling, it's got a lot of uphill stuff, and it's got great views. I want to make sure everything's good on the 80. The brakes felt a little soft last night, and it looked like I got a check engine light when we were up in the snow. So I'm going to check everything once over on the rig before we hit the trail, because I don't want this thing to shut off in a river crossing or something. So let's give the car a good once over after we air it down. We got everything bled, and it turns out the lines were super dirty from the previous master cylinder, and now the car feels so good. Now we're making our way out, and hopefully we can find some snow and hit some obstacles on the way home. We ended up stopping for lunch on the way out, and now is a great time to show you guys a little bit more of Zach's 60 series. Right-hand drive turbo diesel. It's on T37s, 16s, ARB front bumper. His graphics are kind of the inspiration of the graphics on our rig. You can see pretty similar looking for sure, but man, this thing is so cool, and it's led the trail the whole way. Over here, the driveway king comes over every time and helps me work on the 80. He brought his 100 out, and while he says his tires are too small, I'm gonna say 35s on 16s on 100 series look gigantic. He doesn't believe me when I say that, but I think they look really huge. It was time for us to head up and out of camp, and it was starting to get a little late in the day, and we had to go through a layer of snow. The snow had been sitting out all day in the sun, starting to melt, and as the temperatures dropped as the day got later, the snow started to freeze, which made this really challenging to drive over. It's getting late in the day, and this is the shaded side of a mountain, and the snow has iced up. I had to air down the tires to like 8 psi, and we're going 8 miles an hour because this is really, really scary. I'm not gonna go around this corner until I see Corey make it through that area, because that was scary, man. Like, sketched. I mean, this is such a fun adventure, and like, it's crazy, but this part is very difficult for sure. You can hear my fuel pump screaming in the background because it did not like the elevation. But since Corey saw me slipping and sliding in front of him, he decided to go down the road at maybe 1 or 2 miles an hour just to play it safe. You can see how slippery it is. It's pure ice. That is not snow. Look at that. That's ice. Snow, ice. We're all done with the trail. That was crazy. And before we go home, it's time to air up. And I don't want to be the last man airing up. It's always the thing I hate the most. So I'm going to make this quick. We're going to see how fast the ARB dual brushless can go from, it looks like 17 PSI to 38 PSI. 3, 2, 1, go. Around 2 minutes to 38 psi. Not bad. New MPG record going home. Luckily it was all downhill, but 20.2 miles per gallon average. Holy cow, man. The old girl keeps impressing me every day. Now that we're back home, newsflash, it's raining here in Washington. And I wanted to address two issues that I noticed with the rig. One, the brakes did get soft after wheeling all day. I think I still have some contamination in the line, so I'm gonna have to bleed those out. And then two, the 80 series Land Cruiser fusible link of death struck us, and we had no headlights on the way home, and we had no brake lights. And I'm gonna go in and troubleshoot. I'm gonna check every fuse, I'm gonna check every relay to make sure everything's good, and then I'll start to replace some of the fusible link wires. All right, we got the power bleeder all set up. We're pumping at, it looks like 15 PSI, and you wouldn't believe it. Look at all the air bubbles flowing out of the caliper. Wow. A lot of air trapped in there. You can see it. It looks like a assembly line full of ants. We're gonna keep going until the liquid turns purple, and then we'll do all four corners, and I think this is working. Fingers crossed. In terms of the headlights, I replaced the relay, checked the relay down on the footwell, and I'm getting this weird issue where I can turn on the high beams for a quick second, the relay kicks on, the lights don't turn on, but the relay kicks on. I can do that like 1 or 2 times and then I get nothing. Now I'm not sure if this is the culprit, but I'm checking out the fusible link here in the Cruiser, and you can see the white wire. Now I've made some modifications to this because I don't need all the wires, because I am swapped, so I don't need like the EFI wire, I don't need like the computer wire, which I think is the pink wire. I just need some main wires, a starting wire, and then the wire that will run the headlights, the brake lights, and all that stuff, and that would be the white wire here. And you can see this white wire is a little bit corroded. It did split, and then the connector's a little messed up, and then my little connector that I put to it does have a break in it. So I'm thinking maybe there's been extra resistance on these wires from them being cold and wet, and it's just not giving the headlights the power they need. That's why they turn off, and I don't have brake lights. So I'm going to make some surgery on this fusible link here. I'm going to redo the white wire all the way down to the base where it's not split, put a bigger gauge on there, and then these, which are a smaller gauge, they're designed to break, I'm going to individually circuit. So instead of it going to one main circuit, which is here, I'll put them on individual loops, and that way if they do burn or break, I know which one it is. Well, I want to inspect the wiring on this white wire here, and you can see it's the sheathing got a little cracked, and then the connection got a little melted. So at one point this white wire got hot, but I went to inspect it and it pulled right out of the harness. So I don't know if this is actually the problem, but it's a really good sign. Here's the connector from that white cord. Now, I don't remember if I did this or if the person before me did this. I'm pretty sure I did this because I think that white cord broke when I was doing the swap. But either way, you can see the connector is, it's a fine connector, but I don't think I did a good enough job melting the solder, which is the middle part of the connector, to make sure it actually does something. We did a lot of work just now. I mean, I think it took me like 2.5 hours, but firstly, I eliminated this little junction stud that I put here because I thought it would make my wiring a lot cleaner, but it was just another area for wiring to get loose. So I got rid of it, and then I redid the fusible link all the way down. You can't really see in there, it's pretty dark, but all the way down to where it connects all the way up to the fusible link to the battery terminal, so it's direct to battery now. The starter has a sheath, a protective sheath over it now, so it won't rub on here. And then I created a hole here so my fans can go direct to battery. Then this red cord is my secondary battery charger, so that's direct to battery. Wiring should be a lot better. There's only one thing left to do, and that's, I'm sure the alarm's gonna go off when I open these doors, but let's see if the lights work. Okay, high beams work. Can you see in the background? High beams work. Now we're gonna see if brake lights work. They work, but they're not happy. You can hear them? Perfect. So everything works. Wow. So it turns out the whole reason why everything went bad on me on the trail was the fusible link. The connector that went to the battery was kind of messed up. And then you saw earlier, I don't know where it went, but that white wire was all messed up and it was loose. So I redid all this stuff and I'm hoping it lasts a lot longer. I also secured the battery a lot better, checked a lot of grounds, so I think we're gonna be all good. Everything works, lights work again, brakes have been bled, and the Land Cruiser is back to tip-top shape for now. And now it's time for us to plan our next adventure. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.